Imagine yourself in a serene setting where the sea waves whisper the melody of solitude. Often, society leads us to believe that the absence of friends is a void that needs to be filled. But what if we considered it as a blessing? Hello, seekers of self-awareness. I'm Edward, and today we will explore together the unique perspective that not having friends can be a blessing, an opportunity to delve into the art of being with oneself. Our society often glorifies the idea of having a wide network of friends, but rarely encourages us to cultivate appreciation for our own company. Sometimes, solitude is interpreted as a sign of isolation, but what if we saw it as a gift for self-discovery? Throughout this video, we will delve into the nuances of this introspective journey, demystifying the notion that solitude is synonymous with unhappiness. We will learn to appreciate moments of silence, discovering how solitude can be a powerful ally on the path of self-development. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and enable notifications to not miss any valuable insights. This journey of self-discovery is just beginning, and as we explore the blessing of not having friends, we may discover a new meaning in the art of being alone. Join me in this transformative exploration of solitude as an opportunity for growth and authenticity. The journey begins now. Facing loneliness initially may seem like a monumental challenge. When we are accustomed to the constant presence of others, the idea of being alone can generate discomfort and anxiety. It's as if, suddenly, we find ourselves confronted with an unknown emptiness, and the simplicity of one's own company becomes uncharted territory. This phase often acts as a turning point in the journey to appreciate the blessing of not having friends. In this transition, it's natural to feel a certain resistance, a hesitation in the face of the silence that solitude brings with it. However, it is precisely at this point that an opportunity for self-discovery resides. The initial difficulty proves to be fertile ground for exploring individuality, realizing our own nuances, and recognizing the richness contained in our unique essence. The turning point occurs when we understand that loneliness is not an obstacle, but an invitation to reconnect with ourselves. By facing and overcoming this initial resistance, we create space for acceptance and eventually for the celebration of our own company. It's as if we remove the cloudy lenses of the constant need for social interaction and begin to see the clarity that solitude provides. Therefore, the initial difficulty is a crucial aspect of this journey. It is the turning point where we realize that, to find the blessing of not having friends, we must first become our own friends. This transition, though challenging, is the catalyst for significant transformation. By exploring this initial challenge, we discover that resistance to loneliness is often fueled by external expectations and social standards. True liberation comes when we learn to define our own measure of contentment, regardless of the presence or absence of external friends. Now, I invite you to reflect on your own moments of initial difficulty in the journey of solitude. How have they shaped your current perspective? Did the initial resistance bring surprising discoveries? Remember, this is a personal journey, and every challenge overcome is a victory towards authenticity. So feel free to share in the comments how your beginning is going. The first blessing of not having friends lies in the authentic freedom that this choice provides. By breaking free from the social pressure to maintain an extensive social circle, we find space to be truly ourselves. It's not an escape from human interaction, but a conscious choice to cultivate meaningful and authentic relationships. Freedom begins when we realize that we don't need to conform to social norms that dictate the necessity of a large group of friends. Not having friends doesn't mean forced loneliness, but the opportunity to choose quality over quantity in the connections we form. This deliberate choice frees us from social expectations that often lead us to maintain friendships out of convenience. By choosing not to have friends simply for the sake of having them, we grant ourselves the freedom to explore our own interests, passions, and discover what truly makes us happy. This freedom is a bold statement of self-confidence and self-acceptance, breaking the idea that external validation is essential for our happiness. Another notable aspect is the emotional freedom that accompanies this choice. We are no longer bound to toxic dynamics, unnecessary gossip, or the expectations of a group. The peace that comes from not having friends out of obligation is a blessing that allows us to focus on relationships that truly matter, such as family and those few genuine friendships we choose to nurture. Instead of seeing the absence of friends as a lack, we view it as liberation. Liberation to express ourselves authentically, make decisions without external influences, and invest time in what truly matters to us. It's a journey of self-exploration that allows us to flourish in our individuality. Therefore, the first blessing of not having friends is authentic freedom. It gives us the power to shape our own narrative, build meaningful relationships, and embrace authenticity without the constraints of social expectations. The absence of friends can be a blessing, providing a freedom that many may not realize. Frustration often becomes a constant companion in interpersonal relationships. Whether due to unmet expectations, misunderstandings, or unexpected changes, friendships can become significant sources of disappointment. By choosing not to have friends, we are not depriving ourselves of the joy of human connections, but rather shielding ourselves from a series of frustrations that often accompany these relationships. Unrealistic expectations, misunderstandings, and changes in social dynamics can be sources of emotional pain. By being without friends, we are not avoiding relationships but choosing a journey of self-discovery without the additional complexities that social interactions can bring. Solitude, in this context, is not merely an absence, but a conscious decision to avoid potential frustrations that may arise in friendships. This choice is not a sign of isolation or seclusion, but a form of emotional protection. Without the constraints of social expectations, we can embrace our individual freedom, enjoy lighter relationships, and focus on our own personal growth. The absence of friends does not necessarily mean loneliness. It can be an expression of autonomy and self-sufficiency. Freed from the shackles of external expectations, we find space to become the best version of ourselves without the frustrations that often accompany social interactions. It's important to emphasize that this choice should not be seen as a rejection of the importance of friendships, but rather as an alternative journey of self-discovery and individual growth. By shielding ourselves from unnecessary frustrations, we can direct our energy towards building a deeper and more authentic relationship with ourselves. That is the true blessing of choosing not to have friends, the freedom to shape our own journey without the constraints of others' expectations. At the core of human existence, we discover that, in some way, we are all ultimately alone. Loneliness, often feared, is an intrinsic part of the individual journey. Even when surrounded by friends, family, or loved ones, each of us carries our own unique experience and perspective of the world. Friends, while coming close in moments of joy and being present in the most challenging periods, have a limited understanding of our internal reality. They share part of our journey but cannot walk every step with us. In good times, they receive our smiles. In difficult times, they witness our tears, but there always exists an intimate space, a particular universe that remains unexplored by others. This is not a statement to devalue the importance of friends, but a reflection on the inevitable loneliness inherent in the human condition. When we understand and accept this truth, a sense of freedom arises. No longer do we delude ourselves in the constant pursuit of companionship to fill a void that, deep down, is an integral part of who we are. Loneliness does not have to be seen as a gap to be filled, but as a sacred space where authenticity flourishes. It is in this internal silence that we find our true voice, our deepest reflections, and the capacity for self-awareness. In loneliness, there is no need to mask emotions, opinions, or experiences. We can be completely ourselves, without filters or social masks. By realizing that even in the presence of friends, there is an unexplored and solitary aspect in each of us, we can cultivate a deeper appreciation for our own company. Loneliness ceases to be an uncomfortable void and transforms into fertile ground for personal growth. So, embracing loneliness is not rejecting friends, but embracing the totality of the human experience. By understanding that loneliness is an integral part of our journey, we can build more authentic friendships, accepting the uniqueness of each individual. Let's explore together this balance between the company of others and the appreciation of our own solitude, because, in the end, we are all solitary travelers on this journey called life. If you appreciate these insights and seek a deeper understanding of yourself, subscribe to the channel. Don't miss any content that can transform your worldview and enrich your personal journey. Join us in this ongoing adventure of personal growth and discover how the choice not to have friends can be a valuable path to becoming the best version of yourself. The journey continues, and we are here to explore every step together. We have explored together the nuances of choosing not to have friends and discovered that this decision can be a blessing, providing freedom and autonomy. However, the journey of self-discovery is far from over. Click on the video indicated on the screen to delve even deeper into this reflection on the importance of conscious solitude.